They say the jungle breathes at night, that it murmurs secrets to the trees. And if you listen too long, you'll start to understand what it's saying. And once you understand it, you're never the same again. The man who left Gideon Hale was not the kind of man who belonged in cities. He had been a soldier, a tracker, a survivalist. But what broke him wasn't war, it was peace. After his wife disappeared one rainy night in Sao Paulo, leaving only a blood-stained letter and no trace, he vanished from civilization. No police, no family, no goodbyes. He walked into the rainforest and didn't walk out. He chose the Tapajos jungle, a lesser-known corner of the Amazon, because it was remote, unmapped, forgotten. Like him, he built a small wooden cabin near a stream. No electricity, no connection to the world. Only the sounds of howler monkeys, the hum of insects, and the overwhelming green pressing in on all sides. For months, it was peace. Hard, sweaty, exhausting peace. Then it started. Night whispers. At first, Gideon thought it was wind, a low murmuring at night, like breath through the canopy, but there was no breeze. Then he thought it was animals, until he heard his name. It came from deep in the trees. Gideon. A whisper. Faint, but human. He froze. Listened. Silence. That night, he loaded his rifle and sat on the porch till dawn, eyes scanning the tree line. Over the next few days, the whisper returned. Not every night, just enough to keep him on edge. Sometimes it said nothing. Sometimes it laughed. And then the dreams began. The tree people. In his dreams, Gideon wandered the jungle, naked and bleeding. He wasn't alone. Shadow-like figures stood between the trees, their skin bark-like, eyes empty, their mouths open, but no sound came out. In the waking world, he found odd things. Carved totems hanging from branches near his cabin. Animal skulls arranged in perfect spirals. Once, he woke to find a dead tapir on his porch, gutted, but untouched by predators. He began seeing things during the day, flashes of movement, a woman's silhouette in the mist. Sometimes she wore his wife's old raincoat. He began questioning if he had ever truly left Sao Paulo, or if the jungle was playing tricks with time and memory. The diary one afternoon, while exploring a nearby cave for shelter, Gideon found a leather-bound book buried beneath a pile of old bones. The cover was cracked with age. The pages, written in Portuguese, English, and symbols he couldn't recognize. It told of a tribe long thought extinct, the Yurupari, who believed the forest was alive, that beneath its roots lived something ancient, something watching, hungry. The diary ended abruptly. It whispers through the trees, not to scare you, to learn you. Once it knows you, it begins to change you. I no longer remember my name. Gideon brought the diary back and read it by candlelight every night, trying to make sense of what he was experiencing. Each night, the whispers came closer. The mirror tree. There was a tree deep in the jungle, unlike any he had seen, its bark smooth as glass. And when he looked into it, it reflected not his image, but a darker version, bloodied, eyes black, smiling. Behind the reflection, he saw people, familiar, his wife, his dead brother, a child he never had. They all whispered the same word, stay. He ran, but no matter where he went, the jungle seemed to shift around him. Trails disappeared, paths looped, the trees watched. Hunger, his food ran out. He set traps, but they were always empty or filled with strange bones. He tried fishing in the stream. The water turned black. He fell ill. Fever dreams haunted him. He saw himself digging into the soil, eating roots that pulsed like veins. He awoke with dirt under his fingernails and the taste of rot in his mouth. he began carving symbols from the diary into his cabin walls, trying to keep it out. But it was already inside. The last storm. One night, the sky cracked open with a thunderstorm so violent it seemed like the earth itself was screaming. Lightning lit up the forest in white flashes. Trees split. Rain poured sideways. Gideon stood outside, screaming at the jungle, daring it to take him, daring it to show him the truth. And it did. From the forest, a figure walked out. It was him, or something wearing his face. It smiled and whispered, "You've been here all along." Epilogue. Years later, a group of illegal loggers stumbled upon an overgrown cabin. Vines had consumed it. The walls were covered in carvings, some in blood. Inside, they found a skeleton seated at a desk, a diary open in its lap. The final entry, I remember now. The jungle is not haunted. It is alive, and it does not like to be alone. I am the whisper now, the one who remained. When the rain finally stopped, Gideon stood face to face with the figure. It was him, or something like him. The same face, the same eyes. Hollow, as if it wasn't made of flesh and blood, but of leaves, soil, shadow, and old forgotten whispers. "Who are you?" Gideon asked, his voice trembling, rifle shaking in his hands. The figure smiled. "I am you. The part you buried. The part the jungle pulled out and nurtured in the dark." Gideon stepped back, but the jungle itself seemed to close in. Shadows rose from the roots. Every tree, every vine began to whisper, "You are not alone anymore." The earth trembled, the trees swayed. The cabin behind him collapsed into splinters with a thunderous crack, and Gideon froze. The reflection of himself stepped forward, gently touching Gideon's forehead with a single finger. "Now you can hear it," it whispered. In that moment, Gideon's mind cracked open. He saw everything. His wife's final screams swallowed by the trees. The forgotten tribe, whose souls were woven into bark and root. The truth about the jungle, not just a place, but a presence. A watching, listening, learning thing that feeds on loneliness and fear. The whisper Gideon woke again. The sun was out. Birds chirped in the trees. Everything looked normal. But he wasn't. He didn't feel hunger anymore, or pain, or time. He walked silently between the trees. His eyes glimmered like dew on leaves. His thoughts echoed in the roots beneath him. His voice became the wind. And now, those who enter the jungle hear it. A faint whisper, just behind them. "Don't stay too long. It remembers you." Some never return. Those who do speak of a man they saw in the mist, or think they saw, watching from between the vines, smiling. Final diary entry, found years later. The jungle only accepts you when you forget who you are. I no longer have a name. There is no time, no past. I am the whisper now, the breath in the trees, the silence behind your steps, the thing that waits when you are alone. I am what remains.